As a grandfather, I definitely need my glasses. Thank you very much, Chairman Henry, for your kind words of introduction. I'd also like to thank the college's Board of Trustees and President Drew Bogner for the conferral of the Doctor of Laws degree, as well as their invitation to deliver the commencement address here today. I am honored. I'd also like to congratulate Gina Carney and Barbara Hagan on their esteemed recognition. Congratulations, Molloy College graduates of the class of 2014. You should all be very proud of this significant achievement. You have satisfied the academic requirements of this venerable institution, been afforded a transformative education, and are now being conferred with the college's highest endorsement, a college diploma. Congratulations also go out to the college faculty, staff, and administration in guiding you through these past years. There's also a very special group of people who deserve not only a salute of congratulations, but a heartfelt thank you for all their years of support. Please join me in a resounding show of gratitude to all your parents and families for helping to make this day possible. I am deeply honored and humbled by this privileged opportunity. Many of you may ask why I have been selected to deliver such an important address. My honesty and humility frankly tells me that I'm not worthy of this honor, but I will heartily attempt to validate the college's choice. I will endeavor to share with you in this brief time some of what I have learned in my life's journey thus far, in the hopes that it may help you in your life's quest. To understand what has happened, what has shaped my personal perspectives on life, you should know something about my background, as well as the fact that I recognize that I am a very blessed man. With a loving wife of 41 years, beautiful children and grandchildren, many dear friends, a rewarding and challenging career, a myriad of passionate interests, and most importantly, a deep abiding faith in Jesus Christ, which has provided for me not only the blueprint for a life well lived, but also served as the nexus between my acquired knowledge and the ultimate truths. Like many of you, I come from very humble roots. I am a first-generation American, the eldest son of a Scottish immigrant. My dad was a school bus driver and one of the most popular men of his time in the city of Long Beach. He was also the most Christian person I have known in my life. My three siblings and I had the blessing of growing up in a very loving and caring family. Thanks to Long Beach Catholic and St. Agnes, I am actually the product of a Dominican grammar and high school education. With a congressional appointment, I had the opportunity to attend the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, where I received my undergraduate degree. Unique to the college educational experience, Kings Point afforded me the opportunity to sail around the world on merchant ships for 1 year, not only advancing my practical engineering skills, but also providing me with an exposure to a diverse world with all the graphic contrasts in the standards of living and the different challenges faced by developed and developing countries. That experience resulted in a realization for me that for all our nation's problems, we still live in the greatest country in the world. To think that a Long Beach kid from a blue-collar family would be delivering a commencement address today to this esteemed body in the Nassau Coliseum, where his firm is actually doing the engineering work for the Coliseum's renovation, is pretty amazing. Only in America. Professionally, I've had a diverse career in both the public and private sectors. While many of my boyhood friends like to say that my career peaked at the age of 10 when I was the New York Yankees bat boy for a day, I like to think that it actually culminated in the founding of my consulting and engineering firm 30 years ago. Something I never would have imagined. You see, growing up, I never even knew anyone who had their own business. While my motivation was probably fueled by my competitive spirit from a lifetime of sports, it also emanated from a desire not to follow the path most traveled. While I am proud of what I've accomplished thus far, I can honestly state that none of the success I have enjoyed would have been possible without the grace of God. I can also say that building a business from the ground up was the greatest challenge I've taken on in my life. Starting out with a not too robust $5,000 in the bank, to having my founding partner give me 2 weeks' notice 2 weeks after we started, to having an office building fire 15 months after the start of our business, in which I virtually lost everything, was just a portent of the challenges that would follow. Adversity and the fear of failure can be very powerful motivators, especially when there are others, namely your family and your employees, depending upon your success. Though my profession is engineer, I would hope that I would not be defined solely by my resume. There is so much more to life than one's profession or occupation. It is important that we not only become productive members of society, but also serve as stewards of our environment and defenders of the human spirit. I believe that it is a privilege and a responsibility to share our time, talent, and treasure for noble causes and with those less fortunate. I have tried to lead my life accordingly. Today is a very big day for all of you. I am sure that most of you have an array of emotions running through your minds: excitement, anticipation, apprehension, maybe even trepidation. Many of you also will, if not today, but sometime soon, be reflecting upon some higher questions of consciousness that ultimately all of us ask ourselves, such as, what are my personal goals and objectives? What do I want from a career, from life? How will I attain personal fulfillment and true happiness? And what does God ask of me? I would like to share with you the fact that many of us never stop asking those questions, no matter how old we get. The only difference is that we're running out of time to do something about them. For most of you today, the preoccupation is, or will soon be, getting a job. Some of you fortunate ones have jobs presently, or soon will be starting them. The good news for all of you is that you have a quality education grounded in the true Dominican tradition from a respected college whose reputation continues to soar, not only locally but regionally. But that only gets your resume in the shorter job applicants pile. While you are venturing out into a very exciting world with bountiful opportunities, you should be advised that it is also a very competitive world with winners and losers. And in the real world, not everybody gets a trophy. Whether your degree is in a business or financially related field, education, nursing, the sciences, or some other major, it is important that you recognize that your education, whether formal or informal, should not and cannot end here today. The success in your career will depend upon how you grow in your knowledge, skills, and experience. It is also important that you build your own personal brand. From my perspective as a CEO, the virtues and attributes which you possess or will acquire will ultimately determine how successful and how fulfilled you become in life. Character, hard work, sacrifice, perseverance, humility, and determination are just some of the important qualities of a successful and contented person. It is also important to be mindful, to be respectful of others, whether it be the person occupying the corner office during the day or the person cleaning that office at night. Remember that all honest, hard work is noble work and deserving of respect. It is also important that you maintain balance in your lives and not allow anything to compromise the health and soundness of your body, mind, or soul. In this age of ever-advancing technology, recognize that communication skills, both written and verbal, are becoming a premium. To enhance those skills would prove to be a wise career choice and producing a valuable personal asset when competing against your fellow peers. While smartphones, tablets, and computers have certainly brought about major technological and productivity advances to society, know also that there are concomitant effects that are not so positive. This almost immediate access to virtually limitless amounts of information will continue to adversely affect our underutilized memory, acuity, and cognitive skills, just as any muscle would atrophy from reduced usage. Technology should serve as tools for society and not vice versa. Just think of how many gatherings of friends or associates where people are not really engaged in the conversation. They are too busy texting others, which could actually be the person sitting right next to them. Regrettably, this syndrome is also becoming ever more commonplace in the business world today. There is a growing trend in our culture of not immersing oneself in the moment, in the here and now, of living a virtual two-dimensional existence and missing out in developing meaningful personal dialogue and relationships. Good examples of this dependency, and if you will, addiction, can be readily witnessed by watching someone texting while crossing a city street, walking down a stairway, or the ultimate insanity while driving a car. No, I won't ask for a show of hands of the guilty parties. It is, however, time we decide who or what is controlling whom. While we all want to believe that it is indeed a wonderful world, make no mistakes that there are problems and challenges to be confronted. Globally, there is ongoing terrorism, disease, and hunger, environmental degradation, and an accelerated depletion of the Earth's resources. In many countries, there is open persecution of various religions, including Christianity, and oppression of women. And if you believe that these problems do not affect us here at home, just hearken back to the tragedy of 9/11 and recall how that hatred and violence evinced itself right at our doorstep. Domestically, we also have many challenges, including failing schools, generations of poverty, a culture of violence, including widespread abortion, an epidemic of illegal and prescription drugs, and an unsustainable financial debt burden at virtually all levels of government, a great inequity being left for yours and future generations to repay. Yes, these certainly are challenging times, but there is hope for the future. There's hope if you recognize that all the rhetoric, talking points, and failed policies of the past will not resolve our pernicious problems. For real change to occur, it will require you to become knowledgeable of important issues and resolve to get involved. One of my favorite adages comes from the environmental movement, which is to think globally and to act locally. Galvanizing issues for my generation were the Vietnam War and the civil rights, women's, and environmental movements. Whatever your positions were on those issues, they served as clarions to become informed and to get engaged. What issue are you sufficiently passionate about to get involved? Is it climate change and the environment, jobs and the economy, immigration reform and equity, respect for life, education, affordable housing, or others? There is certainly no shortage of issues to champion or just to follow. Whether you decide to get involved or not, be assured that each of these issues will directly affect you and your family's lives. The continued success of our democratic system of governance is dependent upon an educated, informed, and engaged electorate who will ultimately determine whether the freedoms we enjoy today will still be available to generations that follow. Yes, today, Commencement Day, is a very special day for each of you, a beginning, the first day of the rest of your lives. I challenge you to use this opportunity to commit to making a positive difference in your world. Be a beacon of light in a world that too often appears dark. Be a catalyst for change, but change for the better. It will not be easy and will often be unpopular, but it will be right. You had a great start at Molloy and are equipped better than most to have a real impact in your communities and in your world. What I have learned in my journey thus far is that whatever effort you put into building or sharing something of value will be rewarded greatly in ways you cannot quantify. As you go forth from here today, keep in mind that regardless of the career you pursue, the life you desire is the life you choose, and that happiness occurs by choice, not by accident. But it only comes with the right choices. I pray that God grants each of you the courage necessary to make those right choices, and that you will repay Him with your own good works and thankfulness. Celebrate your day. You earned it. Thank you.